Hey, what's up, America? This is Tim the Talent. I'm here with Case Dog, and of course, we are them dudes over there. Today, we want to talk a little bit of Bengals. We know they just beat the Miami Dolphins this past Thursday, but there's a thing that's going on with them that kind of has me concerned. For some reason, the offensive line is not protecting Andy Dalton the way that it should. And Case Dog, do you think it's the tackle that's possibly doing that, or is there something else going on? What you think?
I think we still in that, like, not preseason mode, but I think the offensive line is starting to get into their rhythm. They're starting to find, like, okay, we starting to click. We all, I'm not saying getting used to each other, but, they're starting to click. Unless it's just something else and they're just like, hey, we want A.J. McCarron, the quarterback, so we going to let Andy get hurt. Take him out.
No, I think you touch up on something interesting because a lot of people don't know, like, the offensive line, they work as one unit. So even if you change one player in there, you still got to have your timing and your steps down. And I just think that maybe the offensive line is just underperforming as a whole. I don't know if it's just that new piece that came into play, but it seems like our guards, our centers, Whitworth, not to call him out specifically, but it just seems like they're just playing at a level below what we're used to seeing them play. Also, maybe it's the new offensive coordinator.
I was just about to say that.
You only can switch an offensive coordinator so many times before you start seeing a little backtracking. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that's it too. Who knows? We know it's not Jeremy Hill though, and they getting hit like 5 yards in the backfield, so we know it's not them. But there's something going on there. And do you think it would be better with A.J. McCarron? I mean.
I don't know. I ain't saying that. I'm just saying, like, we never know. That could be their mentality.
Well, I'll tell you what. I mean, there's a couple of factors there. Because, Sanu, his rookie year, he was a pretty good red zone target. But after that, they didn't really go to him too much. But Marvin Jones, in 2013, he had 10 touchdowns. Including 4 touchdowns against the Jets, most of them in the red zone. So, do you think possibly we could be missing Marvin Jones? He kind of leads the league in yards right now.
Yeah, definitely that, because we just lost another red zone threat. Not saying that LaFell couldn't be a red zone threat, but we're still figuring out how to use him because we didn't really get to use him during preseason like we did all our other players. Even Tyler Boyd really could be that red zone threat. We don't know. They're not necessarily, they're working him in, but they're not working him in like they need to be doing. They're kind of relying on AJ. Which is why, like, when all our drafts happen, he's doing all these phenomenal catches, which, don't get me wrong, I love seeing it. But if we gonna go straight out A.J. Green, then we need to be going straight out A.J. Green red zone, too. If we gonna do that.
And I think they don't rely on A.J. enough in the red zone. Because there was a couple of plays, even in the Miami game, where they could have just tossed it up to A.J. Or, heck, even throw it up to on a fade route to LaFell. Like, that would have worked. We got these tall wide receivers. And they got small corners, but we're not throwing the ball up to them.
Exactly.
I just feel like our red zone offense, it lacks imagination. Like, we're just steady, just pounding right into the brick wall, which maybe in the past that worked, but it's not working anymore. So I feel like something new needs to happen.
It definitely does, but I feel like that's also on a play on the offensive coordinator. He's just not putting enough focus on red zone, because in his mind he's probably like, well, AJ and Phil probably could just blaze past people anyway and just run off for a touchdown regardless. I don't know what he's thinking. But he needs to fix this, because we can't win games with Nugent kicking 3-point field goals the whole game and think we still going to win if we don't stop the other team from scoring touchdowns.
Well, I'll tell you what, his offensive line is not doing him any favors. It's hard to score touchdowns when you're getting pushed back in the quarterback's face. It's really tough. But with that being said, if a fade route, it works either way. It works even if your offensive line's getting pushed back, so got to throw a couple of fades. But who knows? They could just be missing Tyler Eifert.
Very true.
The guy had, 13 touchdown catches, most of them in the red zone. They were going to rely on Tyler Eifert a whole lot, especially with Marvin Lewis-Jones gone and Sanu. Eifert is going to be the guy.
Right.
But he's not on the field.
So that means you need to revise the game plan, but,
I think they was going to lean on Jeremy Hill, man, because that's another guy. But, the past 2 years, if you combine all the touchdowns from the time he came in the league, from running backs, he leads all running backs in touchdowns. So they probably was trying to go with the Jeremy Hill plan, but in order for Jeremy Hill to be effective, that offensive line has to get some push and at least create some holes. They got to do something. Jeremy Hill back there, trying to score on all 11 guys, including his own guys who are in the way because they're getting pushed backwards. So, yeah, I think they really need to fix those red zone problems because coming this week, or next week rather, you got the Dallas Cowboys, man. They're 3-1. They got a rookie quarterback that looks pretty good, has not turned the ball over yet, and they got a rookie, Ezekiel Elliott, who leads the NFL in rushing right now, not unless Le'Veon Bell, no, he's not going to rush for 500 yards in this one game, but heck, you never know. Crazy things have happened. You never know. But but I tell you, they're a dangerous team. They're a dangerous team. I think in order for them to win, and these are personally the things that I think they're going to need, first off, they got to keep running the ball, man. Like, if you look at the Denver game, the second half they got away from running the ball.
But that's what we tend to do a lot when we, playing. If, we go away from what's working in the next half of the game for whatever reason. But that's always been a Bengals issue.
Yeah, and I understand. They were behind. So I think Zampese, he says, you know what? We're going to be getting yards through the air. Let's just keep throwing. Let's just keep throwing. And against Denver, I mean, they got all those pass rushers over there. Just putting the ball in the air in the second half is bad news. You know what I'm saying? And they got a great secondary who can cover. Their weakness, to me, is stopping the run. So they probably should have kept just pounding it. And the thing about keep running the game, just staying with the running game, is Gio and Jeremy Hill might pop one. They might pop one for 40, might pop one for 65. And it'll be annoying because they'll get 1 yard, 2 yard loss, but you got to keep running. Your offensive linemen like to run forward and smash the defensive line in the mouth. You just got to keep running because it opens up your passing game when you keep running. You keep moving around A.J. Green. That's what you got to do too. That's my second key for the Cowboys. What do you think?
Well, I think number one, we just got to make sure we protecting Andy. That's the number one problem is that. And then number two, we got to put pressure on that rookie.
I agree.
Hands down, because I think really Dallas's only threat is their running game. I don't think their passing game is really that big of a threat for the Bengals necessarily.
You know what?
Because they were playing against, San Fran, and they was lighting them up in there like San Francisco.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily take it lightly. I think, Prescott he's pretty accurate. He gets the ball out of his hands. But that offensive line does a great job of keeping him clean. I mean, I don't know. He may or may not have been sacked this year. I don't know. But all I know is every time I see him play, he's got a nice clean pocket. He runs, maybe he runs because there's a little bit of pressure, but there's a wide open field in front of him. And he's like, I can run for this first down. But he hasn't really had to run that much either this year. He's just been pretty much able to sit back in the pocket, go eeny, meeny, miny, mo. And, all 4 or 5 wide receivers is open and he just kind of dumps it off. Yeah. So for the most part, the offense looks like a well-oiled machine. Ezekiel Elliott is hitting the holes hard now. First, he was a little hesitant earlier in the year, and I was looking I don't know about this guy, but now he's hitting it full head of steam. And they still got an old boy from Washington, too, the tailback. I can't remember his name for the life of me, number 46. They still got him backing up, and he comes in ripping, too. You know what I mean? So, I agree with you, Casey. Their first thing is stopping the run. If I'm the Bengals, defensively, I want to stop the run. I want to get Dak Prescott in that offense in the 3rd and longs, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 15, and I want to run exotic blitz packages. See if this guy can read a defense, first off. I just feel like he's always in winning situations, 3rd and 5, 3rd and 3. I feel like he's always in a comfortable situation. Make him uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Kind of like how they did old boy for Denver in the first half. Because they was hitting him around and putting him in 3rd and longs, and his passes was kind of off target. They made him a little uncomfortable. But then in the second half, they let him get loose and let him get very comfortable. And it helps when you just stop covering in the back end. That helps, So I think and I think with Burfict being back, maybe they will stick to the game plan. They might cover better. They might stop the run better. I think this is a Malaluga and Burflick game today. I mean, not today, but, coming Sunday.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, I agree. But, see, here's the thing. How do you think the Bengals are going to stop Prescott from running? Because you could do all those things right, but he is a mobile quarterback. You know what I mean? How can we defend that? Because we always suck at that.
I mean, that's fine. He could run all day, but that he's not going to run enough to where he's about to break off 100-yard runs every possession.
You hope not.
I mean, he ain't Michael Vick. I mean, heck, Vic wasn't even doing nothing like that. I mean, yeah, he would take off a 40-yard run here, 40-yard run there, then like a blazing 60-yard run. But even though he was doing that, were they necessarily winning every game?
And I wonder who's their backup quarterback, because, if you do get him running a whole lot, especially against the Bengals defense, he might not make it to the second half. Especially with Burflick sitting in there. Just ask Le'Veon Bell, you don't want to get hit by Burflick too much, and it's funny because, so a person that I work with is always talking about Burflick as a dirty player and things like that. Me being a Bengals fan, we always lacked a hard-nosed player that will lead the defense, be the emotional leader, and step up and smack a player if they're being a bully or they're getting bullied on. A guy that's going to stand up and say, no, we're not going to get ran on. You're not going to pass on us. We're going to stand up today. We're going to get you off the field. We didn't have that guy. So when she complains about him, he's a dirty player. He's a stupid player. He's not smart. I'm like, the guy single-handedly almost won us a playoff game.
Right.
Single-handedly. The game, the offense wasn't scoring. This guy made a crucial sack. He made a crucial interception. And to tell you the truth, even after the fumble, he was just trying to dislodge the ball. Now, he didn't know Chris Lewis-Harris was going to make a good play on the ball or Big Ben was going to throw a crappy pass. All he saw was ball was in the air, receiver was there. He's a linebacker. It's his job to separate people from the ball. And you know what? And there's no rule that says you have to do it nicely.
Right.
You can come in there with some intent, with a purpose, and, separate them from the ball. And, I wouldn't change
that's how they should play every dang on possession.
Yeah, I wouldn't change a thing.
Perfect the Charles Tillman punch the ball out.
I wouldn't change a thing. Hey, if it costs us that playoff game, because if you think about it, we may have went farther or may not. I love AJ McCarron, but let's face it, Dalton was the better quarterback that year. He was on an MVP pace. If you went to the Super Bowl, it was going to be with Dalton. So to me, if you're asking me, would I rather Burflick tone it down, not play hard, and we advance to maybe one more round and lose to Denver, but Burflick's not going to be the same player for the rest of his career. No, I would rather just take the L to the Steelers this year, have Burflick play exactly the same with reckless abandon, rallying the troops, and maybe win a Super Bowl this year or the year thereafter. Because if Burflick can get pushed around, then the whole defense is going to get pushed around.
Exactly.
So, Burflick's got to be Burflick. I'm going to add a new key to what they got to do next Sunday. Burflick's got to be Burflick. He's got to be mean. He's got to be nasty. He's got to hit somebody. He's got to punch them in the mouth, especially Ezekiel Elliott. When he comes running through, because Ezekiel Elliott's not coming through to play nice either. He's coming to run you over. You know what I mean? So if you don't come with some thunder, you're going to get hit by the thunder. And you're going to be watching him fast like lightning running towards the end zone. So they got to come to hit. And Sean Williams got a hit. So, they need to be the bullies that people are making them out to be if they're going to beat the Dallas Cowboys. Now not play where they're playing outside of the rules, but between the whistles, be that bully. The league wants you to be the bad guy. Be the bad guy. Hit them hard. Make them mad. Make that rookie say, man, this is what the NFL is all about. It was easy up to this point, and I ran smack into Cincinnati. That's what you want them to say. You know what I'm saying? That's what you want. You don't want it to be a cakewalk. You know what I'm saying? But you know what, K-Star? I've been running my mouth, man. What you think, man? You think we should stay bullies or what?
Yeah, I think we should stay bullies. We the new bad boys of football right now, basically. We replaced the Steelers pretty much.
And bad boys win.
Right.
Look at the steel curtain. Now, they weren't nice.
Heck, even nobody complaining about them.
Even if you think about it, Bill Belichick's Patriots, they was roughing up the greatest show on turf. They're like, be physical. Hit him at the line. Physical. Look, Ray Lewis, physical. So you got all these other champions talking about physicality, physical. How come the Bengals can't be physical? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's what I'm wondering. You know what I'm saying? But, hey, I tell you what, man. We're about to wrap this up here in a bit because I got both my brothers. They over here texting me right now. The Sunday night game, something must be going on. You know what I'm saying? It's the Chiefs and the Steelers. Something must be going on because I'm getting texts, and I'm going to go up there, me and Case Dog, and we're going to check this out to see what's going on, to see if the Steelers are for real, the pretenders, what's going on.
Pretenders.
You know what I mean? But, hey, we're most definitely going to have another one coming at y'all. Peace. Take care.
Don't play with it.
Yeah.